We are live again on the WRAL YouTube page. Mark Bergen, Kat Campbell here. And Kat, the question everyone wants to know with this snow system moving through central North Carolina, why it's taken so long for this system in snow to arrive in Raleigh.
And I totally understand the frustration. The whole reason why I want to be a meteorologist is because I too was a kid that woke up in North Carolina without snow on the ground many times. And that's why I wanted do this job, but this is a tricky forecast, and the issue that we have run into today is we're stuck in between the upper level energy to our west and that low pressure system that is sitting offshore, and in between the two, so you've got all this lift that's generating these heavy snow bands, and we're stuck in the middle, and because there's so much lift on either side of us, there's kind of a downward motion in between, and that's stopping us from seeing a lot of the snowfall. But we are starting to see that break down, and this is why. Let me pull up a graphic here, and you can get a good view of the radars. So right now it is right around 6:30, and we have the snow hole, the snow dome that we've been seeing all throughout the day. Let me put the precipitation mask on it so you can see better with the snowfall here now that it's blue, and we are seeing the snow finally converge on Raleigh. It has been so slow to do so, and it's been so slow to do so in Fayetteville as well. Just a really tough forecast with this setup. And then I'm going to go up and pull up one more graphic for you so you can really kind of see what we have going on out there that makes it so tricky. So there has been really heavy snow in the Triad and Charlotte today. I mean, we are talking a foot of snow near my hometown of Winston-Salem. They're up to 7 inches in Winston-Salem. Around Thomasville, I believe they had a foot. Charlotte has had some really notable totals, and we're starting to see those notable totals at the coast with a lot of coastal cities reporting over 6 inches. But the upper level energy to our west brought that heavy snow to our west. The coastal low brought the heavy snow to the east, but we're seeing a bit of a dip in we're seeing a dip in the jet stream, but it's starting to tilt, and it's that tilt that's going to help to kind of wrap these two systems together and fill that hole in the middle. I know it's really tricky to follow some of that I just went through. The bottom line here is that the snow is coming, and you can see it's already starting to arrive in Raleigh. It's snowing here at the station as of 6:30. Fayetteville, the gap is closing in on you. In Cumberland County, we can take a closer look at Cumberland County here on the radar, and you can see that it is now reaching Wade and Hope Mills, but you know, it's been slow to do so. It's been a real test of patience.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we got to Fayetteville specifically. A lot of you in the chat who are joining us here on YouTube Live asking about Fayetteville, saying, where's the snow, where's the snow? Kat, I wanted to ask you the timing of today, just because when we were talking last night, we were expecting things to arrive a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah,
is that surprising to you at all?
Yes, it is surprising to me. There was a sign on one model yesterday that we would be in this kind of dry slot. It's been tagged in the middle of the two heavy bands. So Mike and I started talking about that a couple days ago, but we didn't think that the change was going to be that dramatic in the timeline of arrival and the amount of moisture that we had to see. And we weren't ready last night because one model said that things were going to be this way. We weren't ready to pull the plug yet, but when we woke up this morning and more of the models started showing that, we knew that was the case. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why do you have to go by the models? People didn't used to go by the models. You know, people didn't used to have to give such precision in their forecasts. I mean, you know, maybe 50 years ago people weren't using the models, but they were just generally saying it's going to snow this weekend. There's an X% chance of snow on these days. So, you know, now people want to know the exact time, the exact amounts for, you know, make your decisions for you. So it's a tough call, but we're trying to get you as detailed of information as we can. And this is just a really, really tricky setup with Raleigh being pretty much the worst spot in the entire state of North Carolina to be if you want to see snow.
Yeah, and so still expecting 1 to 3 inches in Raleigh through tonight, and so that's still on the way. A lot of people from Raleigh and Fayetteville checking in, but you look at the surrounding areas, like I wrote them all down here in my notes, Kat. We've got Chapel Hill and Rocky Mount, Pittsburgh, Sanford, Pinehurst, a lot of places where we've seen a lot of accumulation, but just where we're at in Raleigh, and you can see it here on the radar. Again, it's coming, but it's been like that slotting that we talked about last night. That's clearly been the case specific to Raleigh.
Miserable process. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. We're watching those two bands converge on Raleigh at like the world's slowest pace throughout the day. It's been tough. One thing I will say, I did want to mention, again, I need to point out the time. It is 6:33 p.m. Some pretty heavy banding starting to set up along our counties along and east of I-95. Also, Johnston County is seeing very steady snowfall move into the area. That's starting to pick up there, but some of the heavier bands of snow are really starting to impact our eastern counties, while Durham, Chapel Hill, Roxborough are starting to see some of the intensity of the snow lighten up there. But hey, share it with the rest of us. Durham and Chapel Hill have already seen a good coating of snow today.
So during this YouTube live discussion, if you have questions for Kat, leave those in the chat. I'll be monitoring them throughout this conversation. One viewer named Charlie asking about the possibility our school's going to be canceled on Monday. What I would tell to Charlie, download the WRAL app or go to WRAL.com. It's still way too soon to say what the case is going to be for Monday. But Kat, what I want to ask you as well is, in terms of the timing of this, as this moves through central North Carolina, what can we expect in terms of the timing of the snow moving out of the area?
That's going to happen between midnight and about 4 or 5 a.m. gradually from northwest to southeast. So it's going to happen overnight when that moves out. So with Raleigh just starting to see the snow really picking up now, that gives you from, say, and it's 6:30 now, but we'll say 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. to midnight to pick up on some accumulations, and it's not going to take long. Anything that falls will stick. Even with that little band that we saw earlier this evening moving through in Cary and Apex, that pretty quickly formed a very, very light dusting and coating on the roads. So just keep that in mind as we head into tonight. It's not going to take long for the accumulations to add up. Still, this is probably not going to be we know it's not going to be a big one in Raleigh, especially given that we're contending with snowfall totals of a foot, to our west. And then at the coast, some 8-inch snowfall totals. They're winning. We are not.
You don't see snow on the beach every day, Kat.
No. And the crazy thing is it's hard to even see the snow on the beach because it's so windy. So you have blowing snow at the coast. They can hardly accurately report the snowfall totals because the snow is really powdery and light, kind of that fluffy snow like we've talked about throughout the week. So it's blowing everywhere, and it makes it really hard to collect that data. One other thing to note about that, on that note of the snow being powdery, I think this will help a lot of folks out in their decision making potentially. That's easier for the snow plows to plow, and it's easier to clear off their driveway and things like that. So it's not that wet, heavy snow that we're used to here in North Carolina. It is going to be a lot more lightweight, and that may help road conditions improve faster. Compared to the sleet that we had last weekend, sleet is very dense, so it melts a lot slower than the snow, especially the light, fluffy stuff like this. I think we'll recover faster.
John from Fayetteville checking in, saying thank you. John, thank you for your kind words. And again, we're trying to get to a lot of the comments here. Are you able to pull up this radar and specifically go to Fayetteville? Because again, we have a lot of questions about Fayetteville specifically, of what that looks like throughout the course of the evening, Kat.
All right, it is so close in Fayetteville. Let me pause this, timestamp it for you in case you're coming back to this a little bit later. Right now, the time is 6:37 p.m. And I mean, Fayetteville, it is so close. It's in Hope Mills. It's in Wade. It is very close to closing in on you. I would say probably earlier from the west in Fayetteville. It's going to take a little bit longer to move in from the east, but you can see it is so close to you in Fayetteville. Just give it a little bit of time, and we do expect you to see some snow within probably the next within the next half hour. Let me try to put this measurement tool up. Yeah, 10.2 miles. That's the gap between the snow around Fayetteville right now.
And
so it is very close to
Yeah, and
Fayetteville.
so even if you're watching this after the fact, again, right now, this is timestamped to 6:37 Saturday night right now. So that's what it's looking like. So we're almost there, Kat.
Yep.
So it's coming, but we've just been waiting all day long with all of this too, in terms of the timing of all this. Let me ask you this too, Kat. Is there like almost a snow bubble around Raleigh? I've seen a few people ask us this on our various social media platforms today.
It certainly seems like it when you look at the radar like this. There's been an age-old joke of a weather dome in Raleigh that sets up a weather force field. People call it all kinds of different things. thing is, climatologically, we do have a bit of one, just being situated between the mountains and the ocean. That sets up a tricky thing because often that sets us up where we're stuck in that zone of sleet and freezing rain. So that kind of throws out our snowfall totals most of the time. That's not the case with this setup, but with this setup, to get that good nor'easter and coastal low like this, you got to have some upper level energy nearby usually, and then this is what can happen sometimes when the upper level energy is to your west, the low pressure is to your east, and we're just stuck in the middle while all of our friends across the rest of North Carolina are sitting there with over 6 inches of snow, and we're just hoping to pull out our 1 to 3.
We have another viewer asking about Moore County specifically, and I know that the live camera we've had from Pinehurst as well, which you can see on the WRAL newscast. Also, we have that camera available for you on WRAL.com. It's been absolutely beautiful. A lot of the live cameras, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Kat, is like, for me, I'm a big sports fan, so the two I've really liked today is Franklin Street and Chapel Hill, and then Pinehurst as well. We've seen a lot of snow there.
Pinehurst has been beautiful. I got some pictures this morning from a friend of mine down there. I showed some pictures on air just a short time ago from Pinehurst video of dogs out playing in the snow. It's beautiful in the Sandhills. They've gotten plenty of snow. Rocky Mount Wilson really have seen some intense snow bands move through, so they'll have plenty of snow for kids to go sledding. Roxborough does. Goldsboro does, Durham does, Chapel Hill does. Raleigh is the kind of lone city at this point, along with Fayetteville, that's not in that same boat. It's really Wake County, Harnett County, and Chatham County, and not Chatham County, excuse me, and Cumberland counties that are in that zone where we just haven't seen snow accumulate, but you've got hours to go tonight. Just give it a little time tonight. I know things are running late, and that means accumulations won't be quite as high, but we should still get some snow, and it'll stick to the ground.
Are you able to show us any of the future models? Because this right now, again, is in real time of what's to come later tonight, because that's what a lot of people are wondering about.
Yep, let me just pull it up for you.
And while Kat does that, I just want to thank all the people tuning in, weighing in. We have 320 people watching us live right now. So if you haven't already, if you just came across this on your algorithm, on your YouTube, make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. We're going to be with you throughout the duration of this storm, and also just making sure everyone stays safe throughout the entirety of it as well.
Absolutely. All right. First, I want to start with this fun. That's the video I was talking about from Southern Pines. Just so beautiful. And the Sandhills, all the snow that they have seen.
And the doggos are having so much fun.
I know. My dog would not be having that much fun. But as we look ahead on Futurecast, you can see, I would say probably 8 o'clock is going to be a good safe bet for Fayetteville to really see the more steady snow arrive into the area. And then the snow is probably going to continue in the Triangle up until about midnight or 1 a.m. in Raleigh, and then it backs off from the northwest to the southeast, continuing to move on out of here. Now, if you want to go sledding tomorrow, just something to keep in mind, it's going to be really, really cold. Our high temperature is only 32, and the wind chills start out in the single digits in the morning. By the afternoon, they're only in the low 20s. So really cold weather. And a live look at the dual Doppler 5000 radar. It is 6:41 p.m., and you can see more snow arriving in Wake County, finally.
We have more comments too, people asking about school already for Monday. Again, too soon to tell, but what I would say is we will have you covered regardless of the platform on WRAL to make sure that you know what to expect as this system moves out of the area Sunday, and then, okay, everyone's gearing up for the work week, the start of the new week on Monday too. But I would just encourage anyone listening to this or watching this, WRAL.com, the WRAL app, we will have that information about your district and where your children go to school as well.
Yep, and I don't think it'll be as prolonged as last week, just because this is snow and not ice. It's easier to clean up, and it's not as dense as the sleet that we saw, so it is a lot easier to melt.
The cold weather is still sticking around for a few days, Kat. So it's like even once the snow moves out of the area, what can we expect in terms of the temperatures, the feels-like temperatures, just to make sure people are staying safe and staying warm?
It's going to be really, really cold at night. For the next several nights, we're talking lows in the teens, lows coming near 10 degrees in some areas, and of course still windy overnight tonight. But next week during the afternoons, still running more than 10 degrees below normal most days. High temperatures are back in the 40s though for some days instead of the 30s, so at least there's that.
We have Esther checking in, and she says she likes being in the bubble, so she likes not having the snow, even though a lot of the surrounding areas are receiving snow, Kat. So
I appreciate her positivity.
Yeah. Kat, what else haven't I asked you about that you'd want to make sure our viewers know about throughout this whole process, again, as this system gets closer and closer to Raleigh?
I fully admit that this has been a bust early on today in the forecast for the arrival of the snow timeline. Give it time, though, because kids may still be able to go out sledding tomorrow. We're going to be able to pick up some snow pretty fast tonight as this rolls through, so just give it time. Wake up tomorrow morning, assess the situation, but I think a lot of kids will be able to go out sledding and enjoy the day, and if they can't, you know, if the roads are safe, especially some of the main roads and highways, the plows should be able to clear them off pretty fast. You may be able to drive 20 minutes and end up in a perfectly snowy spot to go sledding, just because Raleigh has been the lone wolf, Raleigh and Fayetteville today, really, where we haven't had the snow. But it's been tough to see all the videos that my dad's been sending me from Winston-Salem and friends at the coast have been sending, just to be stuck in the middle. It's like every other city but us, but, you know, eventually we'll get our storm.
Lone Wolf, NC State Wolfpack, Raleigh. I see what you did there, Kat. I see what you did. What I would say, too, we'll go rapid fire. So as we start to wrap up here, if you have any last-minute questions for Kat, we'll get to a few of those. I do have to get an update on Jazzy the dog. How's Jazzy doing throughout this whole process, Kat?
She is sitting on her heated blanket, completely uninterested in going outside.
I'm jealous.
I know.
I'm jealous.
I told you yesterday I had a childhood dog that loved the snow.
Yeah.
Jazzy, not so much, but it was really fun to see the videos and the pictures that people have sent in of their dogs in the snow. If you have a decent amount of snow where you are and your dog is loving the snow, your kids are loving the snow, maybe they're already heading out sledding if they're brave in the cold weather, please send us your pictures. Go to WRAL.com/report it. Upload those. We will share as many of them as we can throughout the newscast. And we always look forward to seeing them.
A few questions here about how much snow is expected in Fayetteville at this point, just given the changes with everything.
1 to 3 inches.
Okay, so same as Raleigh as well then.
Yep.
Okay, another question as well is how much energy is left in this system? Again, I know the timing has changed.
So the energy is actually going to increase in this system, and that's because the jet stream is starting to tilt. And that's going to really energize this system at the surface. We're getting into the weeds here, but there's a lot of energy left. Got you.
Another question about, will Harnett County get snow?
Yes, they will. Harnett County, Cumberland County, and Wake County have been the 3 places you don't want to be today as a snow lover. The 3 worst counties in the entire state of North Carolina to see snow, but it is coming, and it's already starting to fill in Harnett County as well. It's very light, but if you went and got up and looked outside, I bet you'd start seeing some snowflakes.
We have another viewer in New Bern reporting 6 inches of snow there too, so it's just like, it really just depends on where you are in terms of like, you see some of the surrounding areas and it's like, wow, they're getting a ton of snow. And then again, Raleigh and Fayetteville, again, still patiently waiting. Kat,
yes, we're going to get that snow, but we haven't gotten it yet just because there has been so much snow to our west and east. They've had such strong systems, so much lift in the atmosphere that creates a situation where we have sinking air and that kind of suppresses and dries the air out.
I think this is a good place to wrap it. We've got one more question I think that will help bring everything home. Viewer wants to know, why does this pocket even exist? If you're able to explain that really quickly, Kat.
Yeah, that pocket exists because, let me go to this graphic here, and this will probably help answer the question a little bit better because I don't know about you, but I'm a very visual person. So, we have 2 systems. We have this upper level energy, and it's starting, see like the egg shape right here? It's starting to tilt this way. That's what we need to happen for it to energize. But in addition to that, we also have this area of low pressure that's formed offshore. So we've been stuck in between the 2 of these, and both of these things are lifting the air up around them and leading to these intense snowfall bands.
And I'll make this full screen just so the viewers can see this as well, just so they get a full screen view of what you're talking about here, Kat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And in between that, we have sinking air, just because the air is so rapidly rising and producing all that snow in those bands. We have what we call subsidence, and it basically leads to drying out the air column, and that's that dry spot that we've been stuck in.
You see the 2 sweet spots, and Raleigh is just smack dab right in the middle of it.
Yep, we just, it's not where you want to be, but the good news is things are changing for us. So, you know, give it a couple of hours, and I think that there will be a lot more happy people in our area. Snow lovers, happy snow lovers.
There you go, there you go. She's WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. I'm Mark Bergen. I want to thank all of you for tuning in and watching. Here on the WRAL YouTube page, again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you for your comments, and stay warm, stay safe out there, everybody.
How was that?
Boom.
I'm sure that the comments
Boom.
were crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's